Yo, 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 welcome to Crate 808, and today we have two very special guests on board. It's the duo that goes beast mode. It's wrong how they delete foes while you ponder their deep flows. Fuck jewels, their souls glow bright enough, and fuck whips, these guys learn more when they ride the bus. They're trying to make fans go bonkers, from London to the youngest in Yonkers. They're the SoCal residential lyrical monsters. You've been enjoying the way they make noise as they play with their MPC toys. It's the splifted gifted with the flow to be specific. Blue is in the house, and the man with a 4-track mind. We've got Exile in the hot seat too. How are you doing, man?
Yeah.
that was a dope intro, man.
That's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here.
Awesome, man.
How are you guys doing, man? You guys good?
Good, man. Yeah, can't complain.
Yes. Exile's out in the wild right now. You're out there. Tell us where you're at right now, man.
Man, I'm just at the park right now. The beach is right over around the corner. About ready to jump in after this.
Nice. Well, I'll kick it off how I kick off all our episodes, man. Guys, what is the least hip-hop thing you guys have done in the last 24 hours? The least hip-hop.
24 hours?
Mm-hmm. We can stretch it.
I was sleeping.
I rode electric bikes with my old homie and his son, and rode along the beach and then jumped in the ocean.
Do you know what? I've not seen enough hip hop videos with electric bikes in them. So yeah, I think you're winning. And Blue went to bed. Blue was asleep.
Yeah, which I was sleeping. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be sleeping in hip hop.
Cousin of death. Sleeping. I've heard it's the cousin of death. Yo, quick reminder, if you're enjoying the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you'll be kept up to date with all that we're doing. And also, man, get involved in the YouTube comments. Man, we love hearing from you fellow hip-hop heads. We love nerding out, so bring those takes and just bring that flavour, man, and we might even shout you out on the show. So yes, appreciate all the support. Now, back to the episode. Man, it's so nice to have you guys on, man. I know we missed you when you dropped Miles, man. And I now have you on. It's been about a year, just over a year now since it's come out. I was wondering for you guys, how do you feel about that record now? And has it changed really from how you felt when you kind of completed it?
Well, when we completed it, man, yeah, I was honored to hear how everybody reserved it as almost an instant classic. And yeah, we put a lot of hard work into it, and we weren't sure how it'd be perceived, and it was perceived well. And yeah, you know, I've listened to it so many times I can't listen to it right now, man. I've heard it too many times, but I love it. But yeah, you know, there always comes the time when you listen to it again and able to enjoy it again as an artist on the album, you know?
How about you, Blue?
I would say when it came out, it was one of my strongest records, you know? And to this day, I believe, and in the future, I believe it's going to stand as one of my strongest records.
Yeah, I love that. I was thinking this when I was listening to it, right? Because you guys had this classic right here. When that came out, it didn't feel like a long time when people started calling it a classic. Maybe it was my backpacker circles and then we were fiending for a bit of this. But I remember when that came out, there wasn't a long time period when people started calling it a classic. For you guys, do you have any thoughts on that? Like, you know, when Miles has been out, it's been out a year now. I have played it a lot, but generally, do you think there's a time limit when you can call something a classic, or could you say it the next week?
No, it could definitely be like later down the line. Like I've slept on records and just like didn't know how great they were until like a year later, you know? Some of my favorite artists, I can't mention the records because I'll embarrass myself, but definitely I've slept on a few records that are very great albums, you know?
I think the term does get thrown around a little bit more loosely, especially in the mainstream, because people just want to ride motherfuckers' dicks or whatever. But I think in this case is the rare exception where it actually was a classic.
Yeah, I feel you. I think that term does get loose.
People don't need to blow smoke up our ass. You know, we're just, we're somewhat of an underground group, so to speak. So, I feel like if someone's to revere our album as a classic, I feel like it's a little bit more truthful.
I feel that. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting when we've all followed your careers for going on over a decade now, right? So when you see people who are constantly pushing in all your solo stuff to, when you have combined and done stuff, I can't believe the evolution. When I hear the feeling, the roots of Blue, I think that might be some of the best stuff you've ever done. And it's just so heartening as a fan, man, to see that still being dropped. For you guys, those two cuts, how do you feel on those now? And can you give me a bit of process about what you were thinking when you were making those two cuts in particular?
For the feeling was like, I was going through a lot at the time, and I wasn't expressing myself, I was trying to avoid what was going on, really. And Exile came to me and he said, man, I think you should really talk about what's going on, you know what I mean? And let it out, And we had that track, and that was the perfect track to do it to, man. And for Roots of Blue is like, it's something I've always wanted to do. You know what I mean? I've always searched for the knowledge, and I've always wondered, what makes a rapper deep, what makes an MC ill. And to me, it was always the knowledge. And for me, it was doing this song, man, was like, I couldn't put down everyone's deeds. So I just put their names, you know what I mean? And that stood almost stronger, you know what I mean, than me trying to list their accomplishments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have taken forever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
name is powerful. They're powerful, man. They carry weight. So
yeah, definitely, man. Those are the 5%ers, man, that are guiding us through,
Absolutely, because those tracks, well, a lot of these tracks, there's so many shades on this album, man. You can go from one way to another, and it's a spectrum of feelings. I was thinking there's the scale of this is so epic. It must be impressive to see you even just sit down and try to tackle something so epic in scale, or maybe that unraveled. But I naturally thought of Raz Kaz, Nature of the Threat. When you hear something so epic, you're like, how have you even started writing that? That's the same I felt when I heard that, and I was like,
oh, wow.
Yo, yo, yo. Us here at the Crate 808 podcast have finally kicked off our Patreon. So if you don't know what Patreon is, it's a platform where you can go and for a small donation, you can help support us make more hip hop content for you. Go on to patreon.com/Crate808 and you can check out all the little payment options you've got there. You can check out the 2 new episodes you'll be getting every month, live chats with us guys, just to rap nerd out with you guys. We're going to go into some wide-ranging episodes, delving into the work of the Wu-Tang Clan, MF Doom, and Jay Dilla. So get it locked if you want that new granular look at hip-hop. So go to our payment tiers on Patreon, big up yourselves. If you choose to support us, thank you so much. I will give you a personalised shout-out on the show, and we shall catch you in one of these live rooms, and let's get this community going. So spread the word. Much love for your time, and peace out. Boom. But even musically, Exile yourself, both of you are on there, but the sampling, man, both, it's just serious. You Ain't Ever Been Blue, the end of that, the outro of that track might be my favorite bit on the whole album, just the sampling. I was wondering for you guys, you must find so much enjoyment just going out there and digging, right?
Yeah, actually that the beat switch up was the first beat I made, right?
Okay.
Blue brought me that sample and he said he wanted to make a song out of it. And so that was the first beat I made. And then I don't know. I feel like I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blue, but I think Blue wanted also like for me to draw on the other part of the sample also so I could use like the Blue vocal samples where it says Blue. And so then I made that beat as well. And it just kind of, then Blue just started writing right on the spot. You know, I was making the beat, Blue started writing. And then a lot of the times, actually, when Blue writes, I'm like, well, I don't got nothing to do, so I'll start writing too. And this was just one of the cases where it fit in. And it kind of was, in a way, paying homage to I Am Blue from Below the Heavens in a way, you know. Because I rapped on that song as well when it was like about Blue. And so, yeah.
I love that. The callbacks, it's all cyclical. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Because when I hear that, and I know I've heard that you guys, like Blue, you're quite close to the production. You guys do go digging. You enjoy the whole digging aspect together, which I've loved to learn more and more because I'm not a digger. But I was rewatching. Do you remember the documentary Scratch? And it was all like DJs and scratching and DJ Shadows in there. And he goes and finds a haul of just records underneath this record store where he just mines it for years. I was wondering for you guys, do you have any favorite haunts? Have you ever come across like it's a massive haul?
Yeah, you know, I help out my buddy with his record shop, the Record Box in Long Beach, and definitely come across some massive hauls and have to like cherry pick for sure. But I'm definitely not the type of guy to pay full price for like the holy grails of digging and whatnot. You know, I'm definitely a cheap shopper, and also like the challenge chopping up cheap vinyl too. You know, but you know, of course, I do find the grails as well.
Yeah. Has there ever been like a certain country that you really are attracted to? Because there's Sudanese stuff on here. There's loads of different elements on this album. Is there any country that you've been kind of vibing with more recently, or that you think's a bit about untapped you can go in? Maybe I shouldn't say that actually, because there might be other people who might want to jump on that.
I mean, I love digging in other countries. That's like the best, my favorite type of digging, because you can just find places you never even knew about and feel like you're the only cat, you know, that's finding these records. Yeah, you know, I love digging in Germany, in France, Africa, South Africa, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I love finding little hole in the wall spots, and even like antique shops that will have like all kinds of old antique stuff, and then in the basement,
love that.
There will be just like loads of vinyl.
Nice.
And you get to learn about it. And Poland is really dope for digging too.
Okay. Man, so interesting seeing the whole vastness of it and where it all goes. Diaspora, another big thing on this whole, you know, album is that. And yeah, I just love it. I was going to ask you about just one of the most memorable figures, Jacinto Rhines. I hope I haven't ruined his name, but explain to me that relationship, how he got involved, what he brings for you guys.
Blue has a great story.
Jacinto is the elder on the album, you know. He represents, like, you know, where we're trying to take it. You know what I mean? And I met Jacinto. He had a soul food shop in South Central, and I ordered some food from him. And it took about an hour to get there, and I finally got the food. And he said, "Do you need a ride back to your studio?" And I said, "No, it's right across the street." And he was like, "Nah, I'll give you a ride." And I said, "Okay." So I sat in his back seat, and I saw a book, and I picked up the book. I was like, "Oh, somebody gave me this book." And he was like, "Oh, I wrote that book." And I was like, "No way, man." You know what I mean? It was a book on poetry. It was just all poetry. And he started to recite the poetry to me, man, and it was amazing. And it just so happened that the first piece he recited to me was the piece, The Feeling. and we had just done a song called The Feeling. So I felt it was a divine intervention right there going on. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's how I met Jacinto, you know. And we got him on a joint, and then he blessed us with Roots of Blue, and it really just blew my mind, man. That wasn't even in the book. Roots of Blue wasn't even in the book. He said he has over 5 hours of poetry on his dome. You know what I mean? This dude is like,
whoa,
amazing, man.
Whoa. That is mad. Are you guys thinking of working again together, or is there any other projects that it could be written or whatever? Is there anything in the works?
I'm trying to find him again, actually.
Oh,
you know
damn.
what I mean? Yeah, he doesn't work at he isn't running the soul food shop anymore. So I haven't been able to find him. That's how I was able to reach him before. And so now I'm just, just hoping he'll resurface again.
Man, it's so mysterious. But again, on that album, just indelible, man. Just stays in your head afterwards. Just his little vocals, and yeah, serious, man. When you were making that Roots of Blue, then how did you even start that like process? Did you have the beat first? Was it the lyric? Did you have an idea of mapping out what you wanted to do?
It was the beat. I had the beat first, and I kind of had the roots feel. I wanted to tell the story of my roots on that beat, you know? And it just so happened I just started way back, you know, and then and brought it to like, current day. But it helped the album a lot because it told the story of our past miles. You know what I mean? And a song like Dear Lord is expressing our future miles, you know?
Yeah.
So just to keep the miles, like just letting people know we're coming from all different miles, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's deep. That's deep, man. Because hearing you guys working together over all these years and it evolving and getting just more and more mature, I don't know if that's the word, but there's a depth to it always when you drop stuff. I was wondering with you guys, is there any music you two maybe don't see eye to eye on a little bit? Or do you both just love all genres?
We did a trap album. I was feeling it. But Exile was like, I think it's a little too out of our element. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I feel where he was coming from. It was a stretch. It was experimental. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I would say we're on the same page.
Okay. What you X? What are you thinking? No to the trap?
No trap.
Oh, yeah, I was just I want to help draw on the best artistry of Blue and the best artistry of Blu and Exile. And yeah, I make some trap beats, it's fun, I was a big Miami bass fan, and I just kind of see the evolution of that. And I think it's great. I just think definitely there needs to be some balance. And I think that's a job that Blu and Exile should take on, is help create the balance in hip hop music and not just give in to it, not that that's what we were doing, because we, of course we want to experiment with, the way music changes. But I just think it wasn't
answering the call.
Yeah, but there's different ways we could experiment with that and have it be more for our fans.
Yeah. As a duo then, do you feel, I don't know if this is the right word, the word isn't duty, maybe it's responsibility. Do you feel any of that weight at all, or are you just doing you? Because I feel like you're very much, thinking there has to be a balance that has to be maintained, or so is that anything conscious for you, or is it just who you are?
Yeah, I would say it is a conscious effort. You know what I mean? It's us putting, thinking before we move, you know what I mean? And putting thought into what we do, really.
Yeah, I definitely like will sit down and like write out like my intention of like artistry and like even the types of albums I want to make, and just to kind of give myself some sort of divine guidance to make sure that we're making something to connect to the human spirit in a way that's uplifting, in a way that's positive, you know, without, you know. And I've also even written down like to try to do that in a way, you know, that would be extremely artful. It won't be like corny or preachy or whatever. And I know that's mainly up to Blue, but definitely we conversate and just to kind of be on the same page of the songs that get created.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's just fascinating how you do tackle it that way, because I don't know, did you ever feel like when Below the Heavens came out, 2007-ish, right? Was there any pressure on you guys like to keep that going, to keep, because you guys branched off and did your own thing, but did you ever feel that pressure? Is that pressure still there?
It doesn't feel like pressure. I don't know. I'll let Blue speak on that.
Cool, man.
Well, when we created Below the Heavens, we were trying to make something really dope. You know, that was as much pressure as we had. After that, there was pressure to top the record, but I feel we were so diverse. You know, we had so much to say in different ways that, you know, it kind of washed away the pressure. It just showed people that we're not one dimensional, really. You know what I mean? We're not going to do the same thing again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely. Do people still fuck up your names on flyers?
Nah.
Right, okay, good. Because
it's been a while.
Because I remember hearing that again the other day. I was like, man, that must be so annoying just seeing that E. And you're like, no. But yeah, there you go. I had to ask you, man. But just on a side thing, just had to say actually before, Damu the Fudge Monk, when you brought that out in 2019, by the way, yeah, that record is still one of my most played. I love that record. So if there's anything you can tell me, if there's any more of that coming out, or if you have any thoughts on that record now, looking back on it, Exile, what do you think to that record, man?
Yeah, I thought it was dope, man. I thought it was dope. Definitely.
What you say?
Yeah, Damu really killed that record, man. That record was it was actually done to different beats, and Damu remixed the whole project and brought it together as one, you know. And you will never be able to tell, you know what I mean? It just has such a consistent sound sequence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really dope. It's really dope.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, you've done that. You've done Oh No, Exile. You've been bringing your stuff out as well. I mean, is there a natural next step for you guys now, do you think? Do you guys even map it out? Or do you just go with, because this feels like a very 2020, like the energy of Miles is very 2016 to 2020 to me. Them 4 years have just been chaos, and you've kind of made it enlightening and also, you know, really hit hard. Is the next step anything to do with that? How are you feeling for the next part of the journey, man?
I'm excited about it, man. I think we're already gearing up for it. You know what I mean? We've been working and we got heat, man. You know what I mean? We could drop tomorrow, really.
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Any offcuts off of Miles?
We've been working nonstop during the pandemic, and it made the pandemic a joy. It was dope, man. And I'm definitely excited for what we have coming up.
Is there any offcuts from Miles? Is there anything? I heard you made so many tracks for Miles, so
there is some, yes.
We're gonna get any of them see the light of day or not?
I'm more focused on the new stuff, but
yeah.
You know, if I can figure out a way, I wouldn't be mind dropping it, but I wouldn't want it to count as one of our albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's a way to put it, but
okay, all right, man, wicked. Well, either way, the drops are always consistent and of high quality, so always here for it, man. I just wanted to jump in then a little bit on some questions I just wanted to ask you guys as you're on. And I've heard over the rumors. I thought, you're on now, so I want to actually ask you. Exile for you, my man. I know you both love KRS-One. I know you both had work with KRS-One. It's a 90s podcast, so obviously KRS kind of is a big shadow over most of that. First of all, Exile, can you tell me about daydreaming and DJing for KRS when you thought you could?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So when I was a kid, just DJing in my room, like learning how to scratch literally by turning a speaker on and off, with a speaker button and like a boombox playing the beats. I literally learned how to scratch with my thumb as a transformer button, but it's a speaker button. So it'd be like with a speaker button. And I learned how to cut really well like that. And I would just, as a little kid, just have these fantasies in my mind, and I would play them out. And one of them was I was at a Boogie Down Productions concert, and I was watching KRS, and he's like, "Yo, Kenny Parker couldn't make it. Is there any DJs out there who who are dope who could come up and DJ for me?" And I'm like, "Yes, I can do that for you, KRS." And so in my mind, I climb up on stage, and he's like, "Okay, man, well, let's see what you got." And then I start scratching and getting busy. But it's like, it's me in my room that like pumped me up to want to like good scratches for KRS-One, So in my mind, I'm on stage with KRS-One, but I'm really in my room just cutting it. And so crazy, man. Like, I don't know, like maybe like 15 years later or more, me and Blue meet KRS-One. He invites us to a show, and someone came up to me and was like, "Yo, KRS-One's DJ couldn't make it. Can you DJ?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I go on stage to DJ for KRS-One to fulfill this 15-year-old fantasy, bring it to real life. The DJ did come back, but stood on stage with KRS-One, and he shouted out my name in a freestyle. So that's good enough for me.
Yes. Wow. Now that is goals. That is just meeting them goals, man. Good work. I love that. Blue, for yourself, have you ever had one of them pinch myself moments? One of them moments that Exile's talking about. Have you had any of those? Many of those?
I would say my moment was I actually performed with KRS-One.
Damn.
And KRS-One is my favorite MC. You know what I mean? So like for me, it's one of the biggest accomplishments for me even to this day. You know what I mean? Was performing with KRS-One. He had a show in LA, and he brought me out on stage when he came out on stage. And he was like, "Let's just freestyle." And we just freestyle back and forth. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
It was pretty amazing, bro.
That is amazing.
Busy B was up there doing hype ad-libs, and Grandmaster Caz was DJing.
Oh, man. That is so sick. Damn. Living the dream, man. When I've seen KRS, and I've seen him at lectures, I've seen him at gigs, and he never seems to switch off. Like that is him. He is just that. I don't know how he was for you after backstage and that. How was he?
It was super dope, man. We even did a song. We did a song called Cool Hurt. You know what I mean? He told us like dope stories. Man, it was an honor, man. It was definitely an honor.
Man, I love that.
Yeah. He definitely like, it was amazing to see him just in front of us, like, speaking to us and schooling us, man. Like, he definitely he doesn't turn it off. He's always on. He's always ready to kick his knowledge.
Oh man, that's so good. Just going back, I know this is not nostalgia, and nostalgia can be healthy and it can also not be healthy. This is a podcast that's kind of steeped in nostalgia, right? So I don't know, I had to ask you a bit more on that, because I was like, 2007 when Below the Heavens came out, by the way, what do you miss from that time? And is there stuff you don't miss from that time?
I miss being young, man. You know what I mean? Being like, I mean, I'm still young, but it's a real, the 20s is a trip, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what I miss the most, though. I wish I could stay there. You know what I mean? Or rewind time at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go back when I want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, the youth.
I miss there not being Instagram and social media. I miss just being able to like, yeah, I mean, I guess there was the internet, but it was more like chat rooms. So it was just the beginning. It was, you know, I mean, before that, there's more stuff that I miss, like there not being any internet and me standing out in front of clubs and passing fools tapes.
Yeah.
And tape dubbing was how you went viral, when some cats would just dub your tapes because, you know, they had the hot shit, you know. I miss that aspect. I miss you having to hit the stage or come out with some dope shit and having like it just be a little bit more organic than just how saturated it is now with social media. And also I miss the originality that came from there not being social media. Nowadays, especially with likes and follows, you can see what's hot. So people are going to emulate what's the hottest. And what do you have? You have everybody trying to sound the same because they know what sells, you know? So it's like, you have less and less really good cooked meals because only people with, you know, good taste, you know, go out and search those really good meals, where, you know, the other masses are just eating what's pumped to them, you know, like McDonald's. You know, I don't know if that analogy hits, but
it's
yeah,
making me hungry. The analogy's making me hungry.
Blue and Exile is a gourmet meal. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's exactly it. Michelin stars, people. Michelin stars. So, okay, before I get into the 90s chat, one thing, such a vast canon of work you guys have got. Are there any certain tracks people always want to talk to you about?
Dancing in the Rain gets a lot of love.
Okay.
Dancing in the Rain gets a lot of love.
Hearted, bro. Cold Hearted. Everybody wants Cold Hearted.
Oh, Cold Hearted.
Okay.
Below the Heavens gets a lot of love, man.
Love that. In your
and
opinion,
then also Roots of Blue.
Yeah. Wow, wicked. I love that. I want people to talk about that. That's not your normal song. Do you know what I mean? And comparing it to American Dream, you hear American Dream and that together, and you're like, what are these guys on? You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. I've lost for words sometimes, so I'll just go to that. But okay, so going into a bit of 90s before we finish off, guys. We've done a lot of different episodes and series on stuff, and a few things I wanted to ask you. One, are there any albums from that decade that you think deserve a lot more love that don't get enough love? Because we're trying to attract to those. In the 90s.
90s?
That doesn't get love?
That doesn't get as much love as they deserve.
Freestyle Fellowship, To Whom It May Concern, and Inner City Griots.
Inner City Griots. I was listening to that the other day, man. Yeah. Okay. AC Alone as well on the album.
Ice Cube put out a group called Caution in '95. I was just listening to their tape the other day, like, damn, these was a spitting.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That
is the mass spits.
That is the deepest pull, Blue. That is the deepest pull. Right. Okay. Because that naturally leads on to my next question, which is for you, and I know you guys are fans of this music pretty much, like the biggest fans. So for you guys, if you're talking about 3 album runs in the 90s, who are your favorites? Like, which ones do you think kind of are top of the table?
Think 3 albums? Pick 3 albums from the 90s?
That 3 album runs from one artist. And the way he made me think of that is Ice Cube, because Ice Cube's run was serious.
Oh, yeah.
But I was thinking for you guys, do you have any?
I would say RZA, man. Just RZA releasing those projects. You know what I mean? You can't say Wu-Tang.
One artist.
Wu-Tang
one
did
artist.
2.
You can't do the Wu, man.
Too
easy. Easy, bro.
It is easy. It is easy. You got your Tribes, you got your Outcasts, you got your Gangstars.
Yeah, Gangstar for sure.
Like,
Gangstar.
Tribe, Gangstar. Yeah, me and Blue we were having this discussion, Tribe versus Gangstar.
Oof. Why would you do it to yourselves?
Super tough one. I had to go with Tribe. Blue went with Gangstar.
Okay. So if you're going Gangstar, then if you can only have 3 album run, are you cutting off Moment of Truth or are you cutting off Step in the Arena? Which one gets into that run for you? You have to only have 3. I'm sorry to do this.
I would have to cut off Step Into the Arena is the 3, right?
I was thinking Moment of Truth. There's Moment of Truth as well, isn't there?
Moment of Truth, Hard to Earn, and
Hard to Earn, Daily Operation.
Oh no, Daily Operation. Yeah. Yeah, I will have to cut off Step Into the Arena. I know Exile cut off my foot for that, but Moment of Truth is my joint.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go Step Into the Arena, Daily Operation, and Hard to Earn.
Okay. A man after my own feelings. Although Moment of Truth is still one of my favorite albums. I know. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. So there we go. So, okay. Before we finish up then, man, we're doing...
This is controversial stuff right here, man.
I know. I made a whole series of it, my man. I made a whole series of trying to figure out which one was the best.
What about you? Tribe or Gangstar, bro? Where are we going with this?
I'm the host, so I don't have to answer these questions, right? I'm pitching these.
No,
I gotta go Tribe. Because I gotta go Tribe because I love Primo and he was wilding out. If I could have Jeru the Damager in there somewhere, the Jeru albums, I might flip.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that Tribe did, just like Hyro did really well, was that they flipped jazz and made it just so hard, man. It was just so. I know Gangstar did as well, but damn. Either way, let's not break up here. Let's all try to get on. I was going to say then, a lot of love for Wu on here as well. Any slept on Wu-Tang bangers, like Wu-Tang Clan tracks, could be any affiliate or solo project that you just don't have to be 90s, but just tracks that you think deserve more love. Because we got like a playlist of slept on Wu-Tang bangers and like Cobra Clutches on there, and you know,
Black Knights, the West Coast Wu-Tang.
Right, Black Knights. I don't think I've even heard this. Black Knights. I'm writing this down.
Black Knights, Doc Doom and Holocaust.
Okay.
War Cloud. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What year is that? What year are we talking there?
Probably like 01, 02.
Right.
This was after RZA's first album. Remember RZA's first single, Holocaust, off the Bobby Digital album?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the members of Black Knights is named Holocaust. He's the first MC on the song.
Right. I feel you. Okay. I mean, look, I'm learning here. Education right here. I love this. So good. Exile, have you got any? Have you got any Wu bangers that you think?
Brooklyn Zoo Part 2, Protection. Was it Protect Your Neck Part 2 on the ODB album?
Yeah, I think it was.
That one's crazy, bro. Yeah.
Okay. Any love for Brooklyn Zoo? I'm here for that. Absolutely. And so, and then another thing is we're going through all of the catalogs of the solo projects. So we're going through Ghost at the moment, right? So I have to ask you guys who don't show a lot of bling, but you've got your style. I was saying to Exile earlier, hat game is on point. Blue, the glasses, hair always looks, on point. If you could have any Ghostface swag and you could rock it, what would you have? You got choices like 4 finger rings, the Wallabies, the Pelican.
Oh, come on, not the
man.
The Pelican.
The Eagle.
The Eagle, yeah.
Imagine it was a Pelican.
Bro.
The Eagle.
Wonder Woman Eagle. Yeah.
Okay. Are you rocking that at a wedding, job interview, or a funeral? That's another one.
I'm rocking that. I'm rocking that with the mink. That's every day.
Just waking up like that. Exile, have you got any, man?
Yep.
Have you got any?
Yeah, I'm going with the mink, but with nothing on underneath, and I'm gonna go out and flash. Be the Ghostface flasher.
You guys provide a lot of dope imagery in your music. That's some imagery I'm not sure I needed as much, but now I have it. Now I have it,
bro.
Man was caught at the beach just flashing in Ghostface attire. We'll know who it is. Man, thank you guys for just a bit, humoring me on those. I've got many more, but I'm not going to go into them weird rabbit holes. But man, thank you so much for the music. That's the one thing. You guys have been around for so long. Sometimes, just want to, you've released the whole album on it, give you your flowers. You're getting them, man. So when you come to the UK next, absolutely, we'll be there, Is there any plans for that? Anything going on at the moment, touring or?
Yeah, we're looking at Europe and UK and probably in 22. Yeah, early 22.
Nice. Anywhere you look forward to going?
We're in the future, man.
Is there any places you look forward to in particular when you go to Europe? Anything?
London, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In London, Paris,
France. Yeah.
What do you miss about London the most?
The fish.
The London breakfast, man.
Yeah.
The baked beans, the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm having one of them tomorrow.
Get some fresh fish out there, man.
Yeah, we've got good fish. I have to say, get the right restaurant. Yep. Got good fish. Look at this, touching on all the milestones, man. Love this. Fish and chips, everything. Man, thank you guys again for coming. So before we do go, ask everyone the same question. What is the last great piece of music you heard? Could be old, could be new, just the last great piece.
The Horseman album.
Oh, nice. Cannabis.
Horseman album is Flames.
Corrupt. Priest.
Razzcast. Priest, yep.
Do you remember when that was all over the net? When that was just like leaked everywhere?
No, when did that leak?
No, not the album, but like there were just tracks would come out and you'd be lime wiring them.
Yeah.
You'd be like lime wiring tracks trying to make your own CDs and shit. Oh man. Yeah, good shout. Good shout.
Yeah.
Exile's like meditating on his, so I'm really looking forward to what it is. Oh, I think he might have dropped off. I think X might have dropped off.
Oh, what? Yeah, he's frozen right there.
Yeah, I thought he was really thinking about his track. I was like, wow, X is like in. This question's like fucked him up a little bit. I'll tell you what, I think, is he there? He might log on, he might not. No, he's gone. But
he's gone.
Man, thank you so much. Blue, it's been emotional, man, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Anything you guys need for us to push, man, get your people to hit us up. So yeah, man, all good.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks,
thank you
man.
To yourself, man.
It's good to meet you, man.
You too, man. You too. London, when it happens, I'll be there, man. I'll be there. Don't worry about it.
For sure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, man. No worries. Say peace to X if you talk to him. Say it's all good. I'll sort that all out. So yeah, wicked.
All right, man.
Peace.